Everyone, today we are going to revise the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers written by Adrienne Rich. First of all, we'll come to know about the poet. Adrienne Rich was born in 1929 and died in 2012. She was an American poet, essayist, and feminist. And in this poem, she talks about a woman's experience in her married life. She has tried to explore the inner feelings of a woman who is living under the dominance of men. Now we'll come to key points. In this poem, the poet addresses the constraints of married life experienced by a woman. Aunt Jennifer waves tigers into the panel. These tigers are brave and have no fear of men. Aunt Jennifer is terrified by her dominating husband. Her fingers feel weak whenever she embroiders due to mental suppression which she is going through. She is not happy with her married life. She will die, but her art will express her desire. She says that even if I die, my art, means Aunt's art, will express her desire to move proudly and fearlessly like the tigers she has made. She wanted to be free like tigers and fearless like tigers. Now we'll move to line wise explanation of this poem. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across screen. Here, the poet is talking about a lady whom she addresses as Aunt Jennifer. She is embroidering a piece of cloth. It could be a tablecloth or a wall hanging. The pattern shows tigers who are moving and jumping around the fabric, prance across a screen. They are bright yellow in color, like color of the topaz. Here, bright topaz, denizens of a world of green. Denizens means those who live. Okay, means the person who lives, resident. Bright topaz is the color of the skin of tiger. And world of green, forest. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. Whenever the tiger is in jungle, in the forest, and whenever around them they are men, then also the tigers are not scared of them. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. The tigers which she is embroidering, they look elegant, shining, and full of gentleman's grace. The tigers are looking like a they are looking like they are having gentleman's grace. Now we'll see the literary devices used. The literary devices which are used here, as we can see, Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen. Here, if we give it A, then bright topaz denizens of a world of green. It will be A again because screen and green are rhyming. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Tree T. Okay. So here B and then again B. Second figure of speech which is here anaphora. Anaphora is the use of same word in two consecutive lines. Here it is they do not and they pace in. We can see in the same place they do not and they pace in. So this is anaphora. And the another figure of speech which is used here, that is metaphor. Use of topaz to describe the yellow color of tiger. Here topaz is used. Topaz is a precious stone. Topaz is used to describe the yellow color skin of the tiger. Now we move to the next stanza. The next stanza is Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Here, the lady's fingers are trembling with fear of her husband. Whenever she is embroidering, the lady's fingers are fluttering because of the fear of her husband. Though she is pursuing her hobby of embroidery in her free time, but probably she is still afraid of her husband who could scold her, who could stop her from doing that also. Her fingers are so tired of working endlessly all her life. Fingers are very tired, and they are so tired that they feel even that the ivory needle is very hard to pull. They find this ivory needle very hard to pull. Means they are so tired that it is difficult for them to use that ivory needle to embroider the tigers. Now here the next line is the massive weight of uncle's wedding band. Wedding band here is the wedding ring, and which was bought by uncle. It is still um, in her finger till today. The lady is dependent on her husband. This line also shows that she is dependent on her husband, and she is still burdened by the weight of that ring. This band seems very heavy to her, and she is burdened by the weight of the ring. Weight here means the encirclement of trapping that has fallen upon her by getting married. She has been burdened by the obligations of married life. She has become the man's property. Sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. She has been living a demanding life due to which she was worn out in her old age. She is feeling so exhausted that she feels that the wedding band is like a burden to her. Now we'll see the literary devices used here. Rhyme scheme is if we give here A, then find even the ivory needle hard to pull, wool and pull, then again A. Massive weight of uncle's wedding ring, wedding band, it will be B. Then sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand, again B. So A B A B B. Then next figure of speech which is used, it is alliteration. Here F sound is repeated in finger and fluttering. Here we can see F and F repeated. So it is alliteration here. If you find any other consonant sound repeated, then that also will be alliteration in this stanza. Now we move to the third stanza. The third stanza is, when aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. Her wish to live a free, fearless life is indicated by her choice of designing tigers. We discussed it earlier. It shows that her innermost desire of being strong, fearless, which has been overpowered by her husband, probably her ordeal will end upon her death. She is thinking that probably she is about to die when aunt is dead. She is thinking that just because of the ordeal, I am soon going to die. Her terrified hands will lie. Even after her death, her terrified hands are called here terrified. They will be still terrified. The ring shall remain on her hand, still ringed with ordeals, all the difficulties. Ring in the form of all the difficulties she has gone through will be on her hand. This means her husband's rule over her is yet not over. Even she is mastered by. Her husband's rule over her is still not over. Still she is his property. Then the last line is, the tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing proud and afraid. Even after her death, her desire of freedom and fearlessness shall remain alive in these tigers which she has embroidered. She is expecting that the tigers which she has embroidered in the panel will go on prancing proud and unafraid. In her lifetime, she wanted to be proud, she wanted to be unafraid, but she couldn't. But she is thinking that when I die, my tigers will be prancing proud and unafraid as they are now. Now we'll see the literary devices used here. Rhyming scheme A B B. Alliteration P is repeated in prancing and proud. Here P prancing and P proud. Now we'll quickly see the summary of this poem. In this poem, the poet expresses the inner feelings of a woman whom she is calling Aunt Jennifer. The aunt is embroidering a motif comprising of energetic, fearless tigers moving freely around the bright greenery, which is completely opposite to her nature. She is neither energetic, she is nor free, and even she is captivated in the home, but the tigers are prancing in bright greenery. She is living a life of submissiveness to her husband's command. Her acts are dominated by him and she fears him constantly. This pattern of the free and fearless tigers reflects her inner desire to live a free and fearless life. The tigers are graceful, elegant, and bright, which she wants to be in her life. Her tigers are reflecting that. Aunt Jennifer's fingers tremble as she embroiders because she is overburdened. She is going through the ordeals of married life. She is old but still fears her husband. She does not enjoy the freedom to do anything as per her wish. She is scared doing the embroidery too and fears his wrath and thinks that maybe the husband will become angry. Since the day she got married, she has been fulfilling the demands of her husband. The wedding ring on her hand is a constant reminder that she belongs to her husband. The burden of the demanding marriage has exhausted her completely. The torment will not end until her death. She is thinking that this problem will finish after her death only. But the second thought which comes to her mind is that even after her death, the ring will remain on her hand and she will never be free. The ultimate hope which she has, that one day she'll be free, but she will never be free even after the death. On the other hand, the tigers that she is embroidering will continue to move around freely forever. But opposite to this, the tigers which she has embroidered will continue to move around freely forever. Her desire of freedom and fearlessness will live on through her tigers. This is her wish. Thank you everyone for watching this.